Are new cars secretly spying on you? Are those SOS buttons that are located up on the panel just above you really just there to help you in an emergency? Or is there something more going on behind the scenes? So I've been doing a little bit of research on what is really inside these latest vehicles being sold in the UK. Looking a little bit at the tech, um, and the so-called black boxes that they don't really tell us about. I mean, they try and insurance companies ask us if we've got a black box or what we want one fitted, but these are the ones that are already fitted that we don't necessarily know about. And they're eCall systems that if we've got a relatively new car, um, you'll see it up on the top panel above your head. So nearly 100% of all new cars come fitted with them, and you probably didn't even know. So that's today's video. Most new cars come fitted with these two types of devices: EDRs, which are event data recorders, and eCall, which is emergency SOS systems. But what do? So let's start with EDRs. Since the 6th of July 2022, all new type approved cars sold in the UK must include an event data recorder. That's essentially a black box or very similar to the ones found in aeroplanes. They are designed to capture a snapshot of data when a serious crash happens. According to fleeteurope.com, these black boxes record things like your speed, braking force, seatbelt use, and whether airbags were deployed or not, usually just a few seconds before and after the impact. They say this isn't for live tracking. The data isn't transmitted anywhere unless the car is inspected after a crash. And even then, access is only limited to law enforcement or safety investigators. Now let's look at the eCall system. This became mandatory across the EU and continued in the UK, because we always follow the EU, starting from April 2018. The idea behind the eCall is pretty simple. If you're in a serious accident, eCall automatically contacts the emergency services and sends your GPS location along with key crash data. You can also trigger it manually by pressing the button located usually above your head. But the key question is, does the eCall system constantly track you? Well, the evidence from what I can find online is no. But again, if you're skeptical, is that true? According to National Highways, the eCall system only activates in an emergency. It does not record or transmit your journey data, speed, or driving habits unless there's a crash. And you can read that directly posted on nationalhighways.co.uk. So unless you've crashed or pressed that button, it stays silent, apparently. So for the skeptical amongst us, this is where you get suspicious. And if your car has a black box or a GPS linked SOS button, isn't that basically a surveillance device? It means somewhere within the car, it's got some kind of microchip that transmits that information, like a SIM card or something. Let me know down in the comments what you think this is. Is it a SIM card? It is concerning, but here's what I can find online about it. So EDRs record only a few seconds of data surrounding the crash. eCall is only activated by crashes or manual input. Neither systems constantly monitor your journeys like an insurance tracker would, apparently. So in fact, if you do have a tracking device in your car that monitors things like speed, your mileage, or cornering, driving fast, for instance, it's likely because you've got an insurance black box or a hidden tracker installed by possibly the manufacturer, but more like maybe a finance company who want to track their car that they want to retrieve if you don't make the payments, or a previous owner and they've not been honest and told the new owner there's a tracker in it. So these aftermarket systems are capable of real-time tracking, but the legal required EDRs and eCall systems, from what I can find online, are not doing that. So how many new cars in the UK are fitted with these systems right now? Well, almost all of them. Since July 2022, every new car sold in the UK has to be fitted with a black box style event data recorder. So that confirms, what else is it doing? Who knows? So the sources for that is motor1.com and legal guides by ulsterskelly.com. Yeah. So if you've bought a new car in the past year or two, you'll definitely have both these systems fitted to the car. But again, it's not a spy device, which they say. It's a crash recorder that doesn't send live data anywhere. So if it doesn't send the live data anywhere, who can access that data? This is where data privacy laws kick in. Under UK GDPR, your data can only be accessed with your consent, or if it's part of a formal investigation, like maybe after a crash, to find out what happened and who's to blame. Even then, the data is very limited, apparently, and not linked to your name and address, but it's fitted to a car that is registered to someone. So unless you're in a crash and the data needs to be retrieved from the car, it's basically sitting there dormant. But that said, it's all well and good, but people still don't like the idea of a device in their car recording anything without their full awareness. So are our new cars spying on us? Not really, they say, but they are silently recording crash data in case something goes wrong. eCall won't track your every move, so they say, and black boxes won't upload your data unless you crash. Here's what happens if the system detects a serious impact, or if the driver presses the SOS button manually. The car automatically dials either 112 or 999 depending on where you're from. It's a real phone call, just like if you called from your mobile. A trained emergency operator picks up the call, and if someone in the car is able to speak, they can talk directly to the operator through the car's built-in microphone and speaker. But even if no one answers, say the driver is unconscious, the system still sends a digital file in the background. This is called the minimum set of data, or MSD. It includes your exact GPS location, the time of the crash, the vehicle type and the fuel used, the direction of travel, the number of seatbelts in use, and whether the car was triggered automatically or manually, and it captures the speed of the vehicle that was travelling at the time. This helps the emergency services know what they're dealing with before anyone even speaks or shows up on scene. So it's worth knowing what's in your car and what it is capable of. If you want to make sure you're not being tracked, check for aftermarket GPS systems or insurance trackers too, particularly if you're driving a used car. I'll drop the sources that I used to make this video down in the description. And as always, thank you for watching. And if you made it to the end of the video and put up with me, thanks very much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.